Imagine stepping onto a place so surreal it makes your camera gasp. From mirror-flat salt deserts to floating mountain pillars that inspired Avatar, today we're taking you on a cinematic trip around the globe. 8 locations so unreal they feel choreographed by a director. I'll give you the must-see viewpoints, the best time to shoot them, and the little curiosities that make each location feel like a scene from a blockbuster. Stay with me. At the end, I'll reveal the one spot that filmmakers quietly borrow again and again. You won't expect where it is. Ready? Let's roll the opening shot. Uno. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. If a planet existed with only white and sky, this would be it. Salar de Uyuni is the world's largest salt flat. In the dry season, it's a cracked, blinding expanse of salt. In the wet season, a thin mirror of water turns the sky into the ground. Photographers chase that infinite horizon reflection for surreal portraits and mind-bending forced perspective shots. Think people holding the sun. The landscape also hosts bizarre relics, a train cemetery, cactus-topped islets, and an old salt hotel that looks like someone built a castle of sugar. For filmmakers, the sailor is a natural VFX plate. Minimal features, maximum drama. Now, from an endless mirror to a place where hundreds of balloons rise into the sky like glowing lanterns, the contrast will amaze you. 2. Cappadocia, Turkey. Picture hundreds of hot air balloons rising like lanterns above a lunar surface of spires and honeycombed cliffs. Cappadocia's fairy chimneys and cave dwellings were carved by time and human hands. Today, you can stay in a boutique cave hotel and wake up to a sky filled with color. The sunrise balloon shots are pure cinematic gold. Slow pans, silhouettes, and the textured light slipping across valleys. It's no surprise this region is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The geological forms plus ancient underground cities create a layered visual story. Natural, historic, intimate. 3. Zhangjiajie/Wulingyuan-China. Imagine a forest where the trees grow on vertical pillars. Thousands of sandstone columns thrusting up like skyscrapers of stone, often shrouded in mist. That's Zhangjiajie, the very landscape that inspired the floating mountains in Avatar. These pillars were carved by erosion into impossibly narrow towers. From a helicopter or mountain overlook, the scope and density feel like a naturally built city in the sky. Get an early, foggy morning, and you'll have layers of pillars appearing and vanishing like magic. For filmmakers, Zhangjiajie's verticality creates compelling depth and parallax. Perfect for dramatic dolly and helicopter moves. 4. Antelope Canyon, USA, Arizona. Here's the place where light becomes a character. Antelope Canyon is a narrow slot carved into Navajo sandstone. When the sun hits at the right angle, dramatic beams of light pour down into the corridors and the stone glows in copper and gold. The canyon's curves are like ink brushstrokes. Intimate, textured, and hypnotic. Filming here is about patience. Wait for the beam, use slow reveal camera moves, and capture the tactile detail of layered rock. It's a natural close-up set where every ripple in the stone feels like a handcrafted prop. But while Antelope feels like stepping into a hidden cathedral, the next place is a full orchestra of waterfalls, lakes, and forests. Nature's symphony on repeat. 5. Plitvice Lakes, Croatia. If a composer scored flowing water, the setting would be Plitvice Lakes, a cascading series of turquoise lakes and travertine waterfalls that thread through emerald forest. Wooden boardwalks snake over the water, offering cinematic composition, reflections, rushing falls, and layers of color that feel painted. The geology here is alive. Tufa barriers grow slowly, changing the water's course and hue over time, which gives the place an ever-shifting fairytale quality. No wonder Plitvice is protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's nature's choreography in motion. 6. Santorini, Greece. Santorini is the cinematic postcard. Whitewashed houses, cobalt domes, and cliffside terraces stacked above a volcanic caldera. The island's geometry, stairways, narrow alleys, and terraces that tumble toward the sea, makes for infinitely photogenic compositions. Sunset in Oya is the climax. Crowds gather, light warms the domes, and the caldera silhouette cuts into a perfect frame. For storytelling, Santorini plays two roles: romantic silhouette and dramatic landscape. Smooth glide cam alley shots and intimate rooftop conversations both work here. It's versatile movie candy. But if Santorini feels like a staged romance, wait until you see a lakeside village so picturesque, it feels like stepping straight into a fantasy storybook. 7. Hallstatt, Austria. Tucked between an alpine lake and a mountain wall, Hallstatt is the little village that seems to have been painted and preserved just for postcards. Timber houses cling to the shoreline. A slender church spire punctuates the skyline, and fog drifting off the water gives the whole valley that rural fantasy vibe. Film here for slow, romantic scenes, a boat glide across glassy water, a waking village shot with a warm lens, or a moody winter frame with smoke from chimneys curling skyward. Its compact scale makes it perfect for narrative moments that feel instantly cinematic. 8. The Faroe Islands, Gásadalur/Múlafossur. Finish with remoteness. The Faroe Islands are cliffs, winding roads, and sudden waterfalls that fall into the North Atlantic. Múlafossur in Gásadalur, a waterfall that plunges from grassy cliffs straight into the ocean, is the kind of concluding shot that feels like the finale of an epic. Moody weather, dramatic skies, and raw edges make the Faroes a director's playground for atmospheric storytelling. Slow burn close-ups, roaring wind sound design, and huge landscape pulls that humble your subject. If you need a closing cinematic beat in your film, this is it. There you have it. 8 destinations that look like they were shot for the big screen. From the infinite mirror of Salar de Uyuni to the vertical forests of Zhangjiajie and the cliffside poetry of Santorini and the Faroe Islands, each place brings a different cinematic palette for photographers and filmmakers. If you want a bonus, the most copied location by film crews isn't a studio at all. It's the blend of fog, vertical rock, and endless perspective you saw in Zhangjiajie. Directors love that living set look because it instantly reads as otherworldly. If you enjoyed this tour, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Next week I'll break down the exact gear and shot list I used to film these looks. And I'll even give you a free downloadable shot checklist. Which destination surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone. See you on the next adventure. And remember, the world often looks like a movie if you know where to point the camera.